morning, good morning. So we on to the charts. I'm just gonna double check, make sure that we are streaming properly and we are all good. A little late in the morning. Oh, that's convenient. Awesome. So it should be good. Yep, all good. All right. So we just hopped into the market now. Had a bit late. Got home later from work than expected. Ate some quick breakfast, and we just got into looking. Um, Uptrend on our last trade was crazy. So here was our trend break. Here was our entry. Here was our exit at this red level, and then almost 15R had we held it into obviously coming up here, right? So maybe go ahead and start looking into possible automated trailing stops. That might be a little helpful because we could catch a little bit more of this move. But had we held it later into the day, we would have been pretty good. And I got out of the gym around this time period, so like 1, 2 p.m., which is almost 12R on that one trade. Obviously, yes, that would have been awesome. But you got to remember too, we are in a challenge, and our challenge rule, we have to follow our challenge rules. So looks like we would have been good because we did only put that one contract and $250 risk on that trade. So we would have just made around 3 grand had we gotten out at 12R. But again, obviously that's hindsight. I do want to go back and we can analyze that just a bit more later on since we're in the live market. And we just opened about what I want to say 2-3 minutes ago. Yep, market just opened 2-3 minutes ago on the bell. So let's go ahead and let's kind of zone in on what we got going on right now with price action rather than trying to focus on what happened yesterday just at the moment. So we'll go ahead, we'll get some lines kind of drawn up, see what we like. Obviously, you could see a bit of resistance here, pre-market, had a nice drop. So might use this as a resistance level. If we can get this break on this low, this would be the low over here, which was a very big spike in price. A little worried if it gets, oh, let's undo that. Little worried if it does get down into that price level that we might be looking or should possibly be looking for buys instead of sells. But after all of this buying action, I think some sells are possibly in order. So we're going to have to see what happens. Excuse me. So we got our two cons. 500. All right, so that's going to be our level today. Let's see what we could do. Just like I was saying, some possible selling right there. I don't know if we want to get in on this break. I am cutting this wick off. It is a decently sized wick. 830 looks like we had unemployment claims for USD. Whoa, big selling pressure. We're gonna wait it out. There are those sells coming in. Forgot that trading view is slow. Be right back. Give me 1 second. Andy, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Did you hear me? Boom. Break there, obviously late. We'll just go ahead and see what happens. Like I said, we had some bearish bias. My personal bias was bearish bias, so we will just watch our trend line break. If I'm looking for this. This is kind of what I'm looking for here. Looking to get off on this break of the low, and then possibly get a pretty decent sized rejection. I would say target levels substantially low. Like down here, around 2.5. And then we got a little, looks like we got a little crevice right here, and a little crevice right there. So we'll see what price does. Obviously, we just had that break on the bearish trend line upwards. So we'll see what that does. See how price wants to react. Oh yeah, and if we get a trend line breakdown here, because this is now a couple days, break of daily bearish trend line. Wow. So we're going to calculate that today too, after our trading session, obviously. All right. Got a little bit of snot in my throat. Apologies. All right, so we got our 2 units, 500 risk, risking our 50 ticks, which is 12.5, 12.5. What am I trying to say? 12.5 points. So looks like definitely hit that 1R almost. It was like almost 1R. Didn't quite get there. Again, we're going to be careful with this resistance level, because you can see over here, beautiful size wick. Yes, it was a big push down, but that bullish candle on the 6 at, what is that? That is going to be 4:05 p.m. Was huge, right? Big push up from a lot of selling pressure, so big buying pressure on the upside. So we want to be careful with this level. We got our low marked out, so we know where that's at, and we're gonna be ready. Let me see if I can establish. I'm gonna establish a price on Tradeovate for that as well, because I got Tradeovate pulled up over here, and I want to make sure that we are executing the best possible price. 75. I got 75. So this. Alrighty. Still pushing higher. It might keep going up. I mean, realistically, right? I went ahead and it broke our trend line. So That's our trade right there. So I'm gonna keep watching it, see what happens. Isn't there a button? That button. Yep. We're just gonna keep seeing what happens. I'll go ahead as well. Put that limit order or sell stop soon here at this price for us. Though there's one right there. Might need to start looking to change our bias and find our next entry for possible buys. Not terrible if we don't get a trade today. Not terrible. Not worried. Not concerned. All we're doing is going ahead and following our strategy, following what's going on. I will say, number one, obviously, I got on the charts late. Um, I did not properly manage my time. We got here late, so we pulled it up late. We weren't able to catch this analysis as quickly as I would have liked, and kind of let the idea sink. But realistically, this is about only an hour of price action right here, and a trend line that is only worth 1 hour of price action doesn't have a lot of weight, at least for myself. So yes, this break is good. It looks like it's going to keep on moving upwards, but it's not going to be like that every time, right? And and you got to be careful. You got to go ahead and you got to kind of figure out which types of trades you're going to take, which ones you're not going to take, and the reasons why, right? If I don't have enough past history here on this trend line, then and I didn't get in the trade because of that, then that's a fine reason. Dang. It is rallying. It is definitely rallying up, which is, I mean, I guess, buyers on the open. Buyers on the opening bell today. See what we can do. Possible obviously resistance here because of this level here. But we might break this, come here. Might be a worthy section to think about getting in on this action if we were to. But like I said, um, still kind of having that bearish bias. Uh, Unemployment numbers went up, so to speak. Well, they went down, but they were higher than forecast expected. And then I'm seeing decent amount of negative news that came out along with our unemployment claims. But apparently unemployment claims are okay. And NASDAQ is liking what we got going on. Breaking. I'm gonna regret drawing this line. Boom, hit. It's basically 2R. Basically 2R. So we'd have our stop around 1, which is like right here. I know we got a lot of lines going on. I'm gonna take this one off. More important is down here if we do end up coming down to that level at all. At any point today. But it looks like we might have to go ahead and start thinking about switching our bias. I drew this out, was thinking about getting in on this buy, like as a support bounce. But obviously we're a bit late for that move. It would have hit 2R had we gotten in on this trend line break. So with our level of risk, that would have been 1,000 plus 1,000. Would have been nice, but it's alright. It's alright. Not our trade. We were late. We had some mistakes. That's why it's important to be on time. See what happens here. I feel like possible like a bit of consolidation. Though this trend line though that I have drawn, it is very steep trend line. That's because I mean, as you can tell, we went ahead and we hit 2R pretty quickly. That's nearly, let me not say that wrong, 25-point move right there. So that is a 25-point move right there. Boom. In about 20-ish minutes, there's our break on the low if we wanted to get into a sell. But like I said, this trend line is pretty steep, and I'm not feeling that as a sell at the moment. Though it does have the possibility to play out just as that one played out, right? And then if it starts to come lower, we can go ahead and start to look for ourselves down here possibly. Get rid of that, keep this one up. I'm just going to lower this one so that we can have a neater screen. Yeah, definitely feeling a little under the weather. Really, I want to say really tired, but I'm feeling tired as well. So that's why I'm not as talkative right now, and we're not trying to force any trades. We're not trying to hop into something um, that we wouldn't want to be in if we were feeling at 100%. So we're being a little more cautious today. It's getting towards the end of the week anyway. Fridays I usually don't trade. Tomorrow I won't trade at all. I'll look at the markets though on my phone, but I do have a golf tournament tomorrow. Another break, another break. So I'll be doing that in the early morning and into the morning and whatnot. But yeah, I would say in this trade too, in this one, um, with this trend line break up here, when we started to have these candles that were creating large wicks, trailing that stop higher than one would be in your best interest. So putting it as close as you want, to try and capture as much as you can of that trade would be good. Even if you hit 2R and you think, you know what, 2R is great. That sets us up for two more trades to be able to risk. 2R would be a good area as well. Obviously, again, that's hindsight at the moment because we kind of already know what happened. But after this week, trailing your stop up a little higher would be the most beneficial. There's just too many wicks. You could see too that these we're kind of consolidating now within this area. So if I can just back these up, let me take this out of the way for a second. You can see we're almost creating this kind of consolidation zone, little box. Everything fits into a nice little box. Um, it's just something to keep in mind too. If it goes ahead and it tries to break out of this box on the higher or the lower end, you could be seeing a bit of volume, a bit more push. So we'll see what it's able to do. If you're following the rules, it hit 2R here. I would say like at 1.5. It would have been good to put it at 1. And it looks like it hit 2R right here at this wick. If you had it at 1, you wouldn't get hit, but you're going to get pretty close. So we'll see if it does go to 3. But just like I said, consolidation kind of happening even though we're wicking in and out of it, right? There's not that big volume push. There's not that agreement in the herd. There's not that agreement in the traders at the moment, and where the money's going to go. So right now we wait. I'm not sleeping, I promise you. If I was, you'd hear snoring. We're just being quiet. We're focused up, seeing what's going on. It is definitely not a trending market today. Obviously, in the earlier hours, we could see it was a good downtrend. I mean, you could tell it's a good downtrend. So this trade, obviously, looking at it now would have been nice, and obviously, again, that's hindsight. But looking at the trend, it's a substantial push down. But you could see just from when trading opened up at 6 p.m. Here, we kind of went up and then we kind of consolidated a bit. Yes, we had some big moves down and big moves and rallies up, but we're technically still within the same range. Speaking along, this is now 4 p.m. So this is when the stock market closes, and then up until now. So we're within the same range of where that high was created, and then where the low was created. So definitely keep that in mind. Decent consolidation zone. Yes, you can make money in these consolidation zones, but zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, what's actually going on. We went ahead and we kind of just did a little bit of a UE, and now we got a decent sized V cut in our market trend. So similar to this, right? Decent sized V cut. and then we come back down, and then now we're retracing price. So possibility that we're going to do a lot of this for a while, right? Are we going to be there watching it the whole time? No, we are not, especially not on the 1 minute, because I am not going to be watching every single candle present itself for the next 2 hours. Nope, we got more stuff to do today. The whole reason that I decided on trading as being, the industry and the skill that I want to work on is because it's one of those special industries where you don't have to be doing this all day. Realistically, I could go ahead, and there have been days where I just trade for like 20 minutes, or there have been days where I trade for like 10 minutes. There'll be days where I hop on the computer and I take a single trade, and that's my day because I made enough profit. Nice push, because I made enough profit to go ahead and satisfy what I was looking to make, what I was looking to take that day. So yeah, this is one of those businesses where you have to, obviously, when you're learning and you're putting in those 1,000 hours, you're going to take some time. But you got to remember too, you're not here to overtrade. You're not here to take a trade every single day. And you didn't choose this industry to be sitting in front of your computer 24/7, or to be staring at your phone 24/7. It's like another job. It's a business, right? You do it to make money, and if you're passionate about it, I mean, obviously you do it because you love it, just like I do. And but you have to treat it. You have to treat it like a tool, right? Trading is a tool. This isn't air. It's not oxygen, right? You're not breathing trading. Even though, like, sometimes you'll go ahead and feel like, oh, the charts. Like, honestly, I feel really relaxed when I'm in the charts. Now, price action, that can give me a bit of anxiety. That can freak me out a little bit. And like, what's going on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But obviously, that's more internal, right? Within yourself. But I mean, besides that, like, you have to look at it as a job. This is a job. We're looking at it to go ahead and make money. You're looking at it to go ahead and perform strategically and statistically, to operate with and to perform with the best possible executions, the best possible trades, and trading within your rules, right? Just like a job, jobs have rules, jobs have things that you must abide by. So with your strategy, whichever you choose, you're going to go ahead and create your own rules. You're going to create rules within yourself, right? And then you got to be able to go ahead and execute those rules, follow them to the T, follow them properly, and then figure out, what do I need to adapt, what do I need to critique to go ahead and perform better at a higher level to grow, right? Like, what more do I need to do? There's a lot of things that you could do. You could journal. You could go ahead and come up with a better risk management plan. You could back test, figure out, oh, maybe can I manage these trades a little differently to go ahead and profit more, right? Or go ahead and hold longer term, or maybe I need to go ahead and trade less, because when I'm trading more, I tend to make bad decisions, and figure out, like, when are the best times, when are the best days for you, when you're feeling good. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So it looks like we're coming down here. I'm feeling 1 unit, 2 unit. We'll put up the risk if we got to. But if we come down here to this level, like, we're pushing, really big push. That would have been a good setup right there. Like I said, bearish bias. Obviously, it's doing what we want to. And let's try to not let that get us excited, right? Because it can do whatever it wants. And if we do get into a trade, it could possibly reverse immediately. So you got to be ready for that, right? So we got a stop loss. Bada bing, bada boom, right here. Let's go for it. So we got 1665. Looks like we hit 2.5 R. So if you were trailing your stop, you would have gotten hit at 1 or possibly 2 if you felt, you know, that you wanted to trail that stop a little heavier. Right now we have our limit order calculated. I mean our sell stop order calculated. So we're just gonna go ahead and hold here for now, because if we get a break on that side up there, on this trend line up here, then we want to be ready for a possible buy, because I think that trend line will be a good spot for some buys. You know, you're not gonna hit every trade, especially like right now. I'm not feeling the best. I don't know what it is. Probably lack of sleep, lacking malnutrition. um, but you know, like I said, I'm not gonna go ahead and force myself into some of these trades when I'm not thinking clearly, right? Um, so I can't perform to the best of my ability. So I'd rather go ahead and sit out on them, um, and not click the button and not, uh, not necessarily not make a mistake, but not take it, not blah, blah, blah. Not take a trade that doesn't follow my strategy rules or follow, the bias that I may or may not have. Price slowed down dramatically for a little while. That was weird. How you doing? just like I was saying a little earlier, consolidation, consolidation. It is not buyers and sellers are not agreeing in what direction to go. One of the biggest things is that my strategies are more of a breakout strategies. So they're looking for push outs, right? So like this was a good push up. This was a great push down. But right now specifically, we're just chopping, right? If you were zooming out and we were trying to use those bigger time frames, we're just chopping here. It's basically undid, and so we went ahead and we brought price up, and then we shot back down, and we brought price all the way back down to where we were from before, and now we're coming back up again, right? And then we're gonna undo what we just did on ourselves. An interesting thing about the market is that it's I don't know, I'm not gonna say this, probably gonna mess this up. I'm gonna say it incorrectly, but it's even, like it's completely even. If you went ahead and you put all of the buy orders and the sell orders into into a graph where it was showing you the volume, uh, they would be completely equal, completely even, right? So price likes to go ahead and equal out uh, price action. Hmm. Feels extra slow today. Thinking about an hour, well, like once we hit the hour mark, um, we haven't gotten into a trade just yet, or we're not seeing any substantial movement. I'll go ahead and I'll end the stream. Gotta get a little rest. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this, most of this. So we just clean up our chart. I already saw those. Get rid of this as well. And we're gonna add, oh, interesting. Are we really gonna do that? Are we really gonna do that? That'll be crazy. Because I don't know how I feel about that. But I'm not supposed to feel any type of way, right? You're just supposed to take the trade. Just supposed to take the trade, but we already messed up on those other two. Oh my god. Crazy. I cannot believe I just did that. Here we go. Gotta practice what you preach. I'm liking this downtrend because obviously it's about 2 hours now of price action. Not as steep as what we had going on over here. So he has a pretty big move, right? But we got a little more weight. We can kind of already see that we got some bullish action going on, bullish price action, and we've went ahead and we didn't break this high just yet, but we're here at this level, which is starting to look a little bit like resistance. But we could possibly make it happen. Why would I do that? I wanted this. I want this. Yes. All right, we'll just see if the volume's on our side. You guys were staying on a little longer than that hour mark, like I said. Just remember, and I'm reminding myself as well, the market does whatever the market wants to do, right? We are trading strategy, we are trading statistics, we have our rules, we follow our rules. That is what we do. That is how we trade. We're in one.
You're in it?
Yes.
For what?
Buy.
Bruh,
What?
I'm in it for a buy.
At the same at here?
I got in a little earlier at the big one.
715? Oh, you got in here.
Well, after that.
Okay. That's where I got. This was the candle I got in. How big is your stop loss?
I mean 500. Oh, you're talking like take wise?
I'm imagining you have 2 contracts.
I have 2.
So then it's the same as mine. Sized wicks, decently sized wicks of indecision at price
720. 720. The wicks of indecision, Andy.
I know.
Stupid, stupid,
I mean, we
stupid.
did just make it to a little zone there,
I know.
but
Raking it.
should be fine.
Do it. Do it. What was that shit I was doing yesterday?
Fire.
Fire. Fires. 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 Me and Tradeovate are connected, bro.
Are you?
There ain't no way.
That's trading.
Fires. Fires. Oh shit. No, we'll stop.
What the hell?
I don't know what happened. Got me. This is gonna be
Interesting.
yeah. That candle got a little scary. I thought it was gonna be a big ass red candle. Try to put that shit at break even.
Is that what you're doing?
I don't know yet. Too late now. All right, I moved my stop loss up. Even though we're good, I moved it like to halfway where it was at. A little higher than half. So the risk should be right under $250. It's like we're 200 in profit, hitting this resistance level for sure. But obviously we had some buying pressure because that is a massive wick. Massive wick. We can't. Buyers. I'm sorry, I take it back. I take it back. Crazy. So it definitely does not like this price. Everybody's trying to get that money, get out of the trade. I think we'll stick with where our stop loss is. I mean, we're risking 250. You know, we're all right. We're all right with losing that if we need to. Following our rules. Had we put that at break even, though, we would have been out of that trade.
What?
Yeah, I would have gotten wicked out.
Mine's at break even.
I would have gotten wicked out on the big one. I don't want to move it to break even. I think we still got room.
Well, you got in later than I did, so.
I moved the stop loss up a little more. That's a little too high. I want it like right here. Should be around 100 and 150 maybe. 15 ticks from 50. So just hit that 0.5 mark, that 250 mark, where it is definitely looking at that resistance. So we'll see if we can try and get like nice little bada bing, bada boom. Nope, that might have been our high right there. Is that really? Jeez, dude. These buyers are like being chickens, bro.
Some consolidation.
Andy, we got into the buys with some chicken people. There we go, big fish. Let's go, big fish. All right, at this point in time, we are going to put our trade at break even, just in case it decides it wants to come back here. I think we're good. We'll get out of that, because if we come back down here again, I think we're going to run that risk of coming lower. So if we can stay out of that drawdown for this week, that'll be good. That'll be a good way to end the week. And we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out now with our stop loss at break even. 5 seconds on this candle. Sometimes that could be good. We might get some quick buys on this next candle, wanting to push it higher. But whatever. If we're stuck in that chop and it wants to hit our stop loss at break even, that's what happens. We're playing it safe. We're using our risk management to the best of its ability, and we're not trying to lose money. We're not trying to, risk money or lose money we don't need to. This is like crazy amount of indecision, dude. Buyers. I need a button. Buyers. Where are the buyers? Come on, break that high, break that wick. Break that wick, buddy. Big fish, big fish, big fish. Jeez, this is like rooting for sports.
Not really.
A little bit. Go buyers, go buyers. Just stop teasing me.
Look at that sell, bro. Look out.
It's gonna come back up.
Is it? I don't think it is.
I don't know. Let's watch a little bit.
Look at out.
Should not get out.
Right here. Good again. We'll take it.
Did you not trail your stop?
I'm profit 300, bro.
What? What were you up here?
5.
Okay. Nice. I definitely would have gotten hit on my last one here.
On your half.
No, on my third. I was here on the last one before I moved it to break even. So I would have lost.
Money.
Yeah, I don't think I lost any money though, because I didn't see price change. It may have been a couple cents up or down. It might have been just a couple cents down. Maybe a couple dollars down, just for the commissions. Just watch it for a little bit. See what happens.
Yeah, how do I get rid of this sell?
What?
The sell order.
You need to go to the drop down where it says exit a market and cancel.
Cancel all.
Yeah. It's crazy. Definitely got into this trade a bit late. I mean, yes, this was a big. I don't know if I like that though. It just feels really. It felt really choppy in this range, and it felt like I was going slow. And obviously, this is only like 10 minutes of price action for a trend line. So, I mean, obviously, again, hindsight, Yes, it broke. Oh my, yes, you would have made profit. You would have been higher. But realistically speaking, while this was going on, it was looking so choppy. This trend line is just a 10-minute trend line. Like it's not even 30 minutes. It's not even an hour. So it's not really a crazy break. Yeah, it's short-term trend. I mean, you could argue that, but we want to play it a bit safer. We want to use substantial levels and then trade with our rules. So let's go ahead. Let's minimize this. Let's see. Now, if you wanted to get in again, which we're not going to do because we are good. We are tired. Still wanting to resist this level here, but and arguably, had you not moved your stop, you're still in this trade, right? So, see what it does. Sometimes you just get in a little early, and that's okay. Doesn't mean that your strategy doesn't work. You just need to learn how to manage the trades properly so that you're not losing that money when you get in early, or just be ready to get back in for that re-entry when it follows your strategy, it follows your rules again, right? Here is back to back, right there on our entries. Had we entered on this one, it's back to back on our strategy. Reason obviously moving this trend line would be the most ideal, but it's still in effect because I think like we came back under, so it was more of a fake out rather than a breakout. So faked out, came back under, so following trend using like this trend as almost a support level to then bounce back up. But we'll see how it reacts to this resistance level. And obviously our 1R is substantial uh, pointage away from our prices at the moment, past that resistance level. So it's going to have to break past that before it's going to move higher. Oh, just like two more points. 2 more points. You can do it. You can do it, little buddy. That was so close. That was so close. You can do it, little buddy. No, you can't, apparently. Yeah. And sometimes it's going to be slow. I mean, after big news like unemployment claims, and then yesterday we had the CPI news, right? Just like I said, like this is a really big wick, really big candle. So you had a lot of people that made a lot of money, a lot of people that lost a lot of money. A lot of transactions happened at 8:30 at this candle. Same thing with our CPI yesterday, right? Big news that was going on. Why don't we go ahead and let's look at that? Let's go ahead and let's have a little bit of fun. So let's look at that trade that we took yesterday. That went pretty well. Well, the second wasn't. Yeah, the second trade, not the first one. The first one was a sell right here, which we did good on. And then this was that second one when we went ahead and bought with 250 risk. So one contract, 250. Hold up. Okay, we're decently far, and I have this here. So just in case we do that, I will know that we're getting close to our price, and we will be ready. 18665. Bada bing, bada boom. We're doing 2. Yeah, so that's just in case we come back down here, but that's a bit far. So let's get back over here. We went ahead and we put in our buy. One contract, we broke our big trend line, right? So we only put one contract instead of two, just being frugal. And, obviously 2 would have been better. But we went ahead and we got our really quick 2R out of that trade. Took about 10 minutes to go ahead and do that. And we got out, went to the gym. We got $500 off of that. Was it $500? No, we hit at 1R. So we got our quick 250. My bad.
Yeah.
We had our quick 250 at 1R because we were trailing that stop. So we trailed that stop close, and we got our 250 at 1R. But as you could see, it ran substantially. So you would have gotten 12R at the time that we had left the gym, about 12R, and at the very peak was about 15, 16 up here by the high of day for today. So interesting to see, how that went ahead and played out. Because I was in that, right? And that would have been like $3,000, $3.5 grand, which technically would have still been following our rules. Now, had we taken 2 contracts, then we would have had to have worried about where we were taking profit, because that profit price, we can't go ahead and take profit at 4,500, more than 4,500, which is half of our target price, because that's the rules set by the prop firm that we're taking. So you definitely want to be careful in that regard. But besides that, it was a good trade. It was good to see it play through. Also here, I want to look at this. Let's have a little bit of fun with this one. So we went ahead and see if I can. How'd you get rid of the arrows? Did you get rid of the arrows?
What arrows?
That show price?
No.
I'm not seeing them. Oh,
What?
Does Trade-Evade do that? Just Trade-Evade.
It's just trading.
Same. I'm connected into Trade-Evade. Let's see. You did turn that off. What are you talking about?
Why the hell would I turn?
How do I get to setting? Yeah, it does do that. So it updates every 6 a.m. 6 p.m. It gets rid of my lines.
Damn.
It's Trade-Evade. It's Trade-Evade for you. Anyway, so we had this nice break of our daily bearish trend line, which we entered at. I want to say over here. I need to double check. Yeah, I think it was there, because then the trend was over here. Yeah. So it had come down into this. That's 1. There's 10. So break. All right, so let's say we adjusted the trend line coming this way. Boom. Break somewhere over here.
Oh God, Alex, it broke the wick.
I wish I'd circled. It's going up. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
It just broke the consolidation. That's 1R for the second entry. First entry's 1R would be right there. So just a couple points above that. Might use this as a support level. Pop up. Let me zoom back out. Let's just go look at this, and we'll watch that play out afterwards. But you can see we went ahead and we had that bearish trend line break at this price level. Honestly, I don't remember where it was over here. I'd have to go back and look at the other videos. But we had our break at this price level. Might have been here, might have been here, might have been here, right? And you could go ahead and see, if we just used that price level and we had entered at that price level on our buys, Price is now up here. So if you were able to hold it, again, this is far-fetched. This goes, you have CPI news here. There's a lot of news this day, a lot of bullish momentum on this CPI day, even after the news. And then, yeah, so I mean that's your biggest push. It was just a big bullish day that day. But you're looking at about 30 R, so 30 times whatever that risk was. So just woulda, shoulda, coulda, talking shits and giggles for our $500 risk. That would be 15 grand right here on this one trade that you held a couple days. And so this was Tuesday, Wednesday, and then into today. So 15 grand, 2 days, 3 days. Not too bad, right? Just for a trend line break trade and continuously taking, these breaks. But you got to remember too, like, number one, in our prop firm challenge, we're not able to swing trade. I'm not able to have trades that run past by the trading day within the day session, right? I'm also not able to take those profits past 4,500, right? So you got to go ahead and you have to follow these rules, follow these regulations that these prop firms have set on you, to make sure that you're able to pass the challenge as quickly and as effectively, efficiently as possible, right? But again, like if you have private capital and you have enough money to go ahead and possibly put on some risk, right, in this type of trading, right, and then you're going ahead and you're risking correctly and you got your trade management correctly and you have your strategy and you're willing to accept the risk of losing money, losing whatever money you decide to put up, because trading is all about your decisions, right? It's what you decide to execute on, whatever you go ahead and you actually click the button and decide you want to trade. So whatever strategy or news or whatever that might be. So you got to know, you're putting up that risk, especially like on a private account, private capital account. That's your money that you're putting up, So that's all on you. All that responsibility is on you. So with that, there's not really many rules on the. I mean, obviously, it's the rules that you set on yourself of if you're going to get out of trades at the end of the day, how long you're going to hold your trades. However you're willing to trade to manage those trades. But I mean, when you're working with private capital, you're going ahead and you're creating those certain rules as well for yourself, right? Whereas with these prop firms, there's a lot of rules that they're creating on you that you have to go ahead and follow. So it can be a little strict, it can be a little tedious, but if you follow these rules and you're able to pass these challenges, you can get this funding, and then you'll be able to use that instead of having to use private capital or trying to build an account, because not everybody has access to the type of money that you need to be able to be a day trader, to be able to trade this type of stuff, right? Like I don't really have excuse me, I don't really have the capital that I would like to have to be putting up the amount of risk that I do on these challenge accounts or on these demo accounts, right? That do go ahead and actually make money and that actually makes sense, right? Yeah, you can go ahead and you can build a small account, and I'm not going to be downing that or saying anything off about that. But you got to be aware of the risks that come with trying to build a small account, and on top of that, your psychology is going to be completely different when you're trying to build a small account, private capital, because you're going to be seeing people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars, and all you're going to be able to get is a couple dollars, maybe tens, 20s, which again is not bad when you're building a small account, but you got to be aware of that. You got to be aware of the environment that you are in, whether that's prop trading, whether that's private capital, whether that's going to be small account private capital building. There's a bunch of different environments, and you got to make sure that you are good, that you as the player, as the trader, are operating from the best possible seat that you can, right? From the best possible viewpoint and have the best possible perspective on trading so that you can operate correctly, effectively, and efficiently. You don't want to come into the market, trying to guess, try and do guesswork. You're not a joker. This isn't a jokester industry, right? Like there are rules
There's a lot of regulation, and if you want to be successful at this, you need to think of it as a business. You need to be strategic. You need to be statistics oriented, right? You need to plan. You need to manage, and you need to understand how to operate in this high risk, high reward um, environment. Because that's basically what it is, right? Like, this industry is difficult. It takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of experience to get used to it, and to actually appreciate it. But once you get the hang of it, and once you start experiencing it and taking trades, and getting into the industry, it just makes the biggest difference. And honestly, I mean, that's all I can say really. Is it's just like I repeat myself over and over again. It's all about trade management. It's all about risk management. It's all about emotional control, self reflection, and just being aware of the actions that you are taking, and whether that's good or bad, because you can have good habits for trading, but you can also have bad habits for trading, right? Like, you might be doing too much, you might be over trading, you might be over analyzing, you might have too many indicators, you might be over influenced by news or by other traders and other people's opinions, right, on how you should be trading the market or looking at the market, right? And honestly, like I said on one of my other streams, the best thing that you can do is cut out the noise. Cut out the noise, learn, put your head down, learn, get educated, get the experience, and then go ahead and create your own biases and your own ideas, right? You can go ahead and learn and take people's experience, and you can take the education that they give you, um, more than a grain of salt. But you are let's go ahead and use an analogy. I've been told that I'm not too good at analogies. I think I'm pretty good at analogies. They're pretty far fetched and they're pretty weird, but I mean, I think they get the point across. Let's go ahead and say you're the trader, and let's compare you to a baker, right? Everyone else that is not you, the baker, is giving you ingredients, okay? And you, as the baker, are tasked with baking the cake, okay? So I take sugar from here, I take salt from here, I take cake batter from here, I take syrup, I take, not syrup, uh, whipped cream, I don't know, like whatever you want to put in the cake. But you're taking the ingredients as the baker, and then you are going to bake the best cake that you can possibly bake. And then you're going to keep baking that cake, and you're going to take whatever ingredients that you need, and you might take out whatever ingredients that made the cake taste bad, to go ahead and make the best cake, to take the best trade, right? To figure out the best strategy that works for you, the cake that you like, the trades that you like, the strategy you like. And that's really what it is. That's really what it comes down to. How you doing?
Good.
Make a noise.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks, bro.
I guess it does.
We gotta leave anyway.
You close my door.
We gotta leave anyway.
Anyway, so really, that's about it for today. We go ahead and look at this trade. You see, it went 1 hour for sure. Where we went ahead and we were in the trade. It went almost to just about 1.7, which would have been pretty good. It would have been around like $700, $800 just about. And you could see too, had we stayed in the trade, we would have been good. We would have gotten into some drawdown, yes, but it would have came up. It would have came above 1 hour. We would have trailed our stop, and we would have hit 1 hour at the very least. And and maybe we chickened out, but we were playing it safe. Like I said, I'm not feeling 100% right now, and we had a lot of consolidation, a lot of chop today. Even though you can see the trend after the hindsight, but when price is going on, you don't know what's going on. Price is going to do whatever it wants to do. So yes, we went ahead, and obviously we had our learning experiences. I would go ahead and argue that this will probably oh yes, because that makes so much sense. I would go ahead and argue that this will probably break this high of day, use it as support, and then go ahead and go higher. So we'll go ahead and we'll try and see how that looks coming maybe Friday night. I'll see when I'll be able to do my next stream. Obviously, I'll be on stream on Monday for Monday Open. Look at that big push. So that would have hit 2R. But like I said, like I think it'll most likely do something along the lines of this, use that level as support, and then keep going up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, it looks good. We went ahead and we operated well today, and we learned our lessons. Maybe shouldn't have gotten out of this trade. We put the trade on, right? So maybe being frugal and bringing our stop just a little closer, like maybe this price level would have been nice, because obviously if it got here, it might go ahead and just break. So maybe that would have been a nice price. And honestly, our stop loss was at a good level, because arguably if it did get here, it could just go ahead and bounce, because this was a nice support area that it could have possibly been. So we went ahead and we were a little hasty, but better safe than sorry. We ended green. We ended substantially green. The first week of the trading challenge is always one of the hardest weeks, and then obviously the last one when you're extremely close to hitting that profit target, and you tend to make some dumb decisions at that point. But I mean, it looked good. We had some good trades for this week. We went ahead and we learned a lot. Holding trades can be pretty beneficial, and going ahead and letting the market play out the way it wants to play out. And just following your strategy, taking your trades, executing in a timely manner, and making sure that you're managing those trades correctly, following your rules, following these prop firm rules if you're in a prop firm challenge, and keeping your head up. Even if you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose money. That's how trading works. You gotta pay to play. So you're gonna lose money here and there. You're gonna lose challenges here and there. But it's all part of the game, and you gotta keep your head up. You gotta stay. You gotta keep your head above the water so you can keep breathing, and you just gotta keep going. You gotta be disciplined, just like anything else. Practice, 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 practice makes progress. And I'll leave it at that. It was a great stream. It was a great week for trading, and I'll see you guys on the next.